The Pretoria High Court has heard how a deceased state witness is the only person who assisted the police in drawing up an identikit that matched the description of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. According to Brigadier Bongani Gininda, Thabang Makeleni's statement, which gives a description of Ntanzi, corroborated their investigations. Ntanzi and 4 others are on trial for the 2014 murder of a soccer star Senzo Meyiwa. Mnisi is following that story for us, and he now joins us in studio. So once again, tell us who exactly Thabang is and why he's so important to this case.
All right, so Thabang Makeleni is one of the witnesses who deposed a statement back in 2014 and was also interviewed by Warrant Officer Steenkamp. This is the officer that interviewed all the people that were in the house who were essentially giving descriptions of the suspects in this case, leading to, of course, the identikit being released. But what we're learning is that the occupants of the house could not describe the second suspect, mentioned as suspect B in this case. And Thabang Makeleni is the one person that was able to assist the police. He gave a description of a person that looked 25, was about 1.8 meters tall, a slender built-in body, but also, describes him as having a gold tooth and dreadlocks. And Brigadier Gininda was asked about, the gold tooth and the dreadlocks. In the identikit, you see sort of like black markings just under the hoodie. And he was asked about whether or not these are dreadlocks. And he said, well, he couldn't make out what it was. It could have been a shadow, but it could have been also something else. But he essentially could not make out what it was. But also gold tooth, you'd recall that Ntanzi was taken to a doctor, and the doctor said Ntanzi has never had a gold tooth. But what he says is that when you look at Thabang Makeleni's statement, it actually corroborates the evidence of other state witnesses like Zungu, who spoke about a hoodie. You'd recall that some of the witnesses in the house said one of the assailants was wearing a hoodie. The issue around the height, you'd recall Lieutenant Colonel Mangena went to measure the accused, and he said it was around 1.8. The issue around the age, he says they went back and they looked at Ntanzi's ID, and when they traced it back to 2014, Ntanzi was 25 then. And this is a corroboration for them. Let's take a listen to how he actually puts it.
Furthermore, fast-tracking now to after the 18th of June 2020, my lord, to the time when I interviewed Constable Zungu, and he subsequently submitted a statement. In his statement, he clearly indicates that at the hostel, and it's contained in his statement, accused 2 was wearing a black hoodie, which was described at the crime scene on the 24th. He says he was wearing a black hoodie. He changed to a different hoodie of a different color. But when they came back, or when you saw him, the hoodie was wearing is black in color. It's contained in his statement, my lord. My recollection, my lord, is that also I seem to recall that the description in terms of the height given by Mr. Makeleni was about 1.8. What I'm not sure of, and I can check during the long adjournment if there is any report or is contained in a statement of Colonel Mangena, because the exact measurement of how tall he is, this is now accused 2, was established by Colonel Mangena during that exercise of trying, but that I don't recall, my lord. But Mr. Makeleni's one, I do recall that he estimated him to be 1.8. So one will have to see what Colonel Mangena says in collaboration of that.
All right, so what is interesting about Makeleni's statement, Aldrin, is that he's passed away. So the state would have had to make an application to have his statement admitted as evidence in the case, because he can't come to court and verify that he's the one that deposed the statement. It's important in the sense that he's one of the people that says he allegedly saw the suspects at a gas station, but later saw them outside Kelly Kumalo's house. But essentially what has been happening since last week is that Brigadier Bongani Gininda has been asked about this statement, and what the defense is conceding to is that soliciting evidence through a statement like that means it then becomes admissible. So the state does not have to make an application for it to be admitted. It is now part of the evidence. So essentially the state no longer has to go and make that application to prove that actually this is what we're saying. And what is important also is that according to Brigadier Bongani Gininda, it supports their version, which is, a bit of a blow for the defense.
Well, thank you so much for that, Linda Mnisi, on the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial that